Macy's?
No, Macy's is okay.
Yeah.
They're still here.
And Target?
Well, he's talking about ones that had a good quarter.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, not the,
Oh.
yeah.
And Macy's was one?
I think they did.
Wow.
I think Target's coming back from a low
Yeah.
base. They were in trouble.
They were.
So apparently, maybe, you
Yeah,
know,
but
they're
this
getting
was
the Trump
top and
bump.
bottom line. Big numbers.
Wow.
They're getting a Trump bump or something.
No, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them going the other way still.
Yeah.
People
The
got
guys
money.
that are figuring it out.
I didn't know we could wear shorts.
Well, the thing
People got money in the pockets.
Bonton was the ton.
You know, I don't care what Trump does. You give me a comment,
You know,
people are
Yeah.
bucking heads, they
Yeah.
couldn't figure it out.
Good job. I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, this whole thing lately though, with McCain, you know, the lowering at half-mast, putting it up the next day.
And see, I didn't hear, why did he put it up already?
Well, he's actually taking it back down, it's now at half-mast again. And he put through a note today that everybody goes to half-mast. And it was like a little late on
You know
that.
why he did that? Because the staff put him in a headlock, wouldn't let him go until he did it.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want to do
Oh,
that.
the whole world did. I
Yeah.
mean, the VFW,
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a base.
He was taking a hit, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he should have been.
When it
And
comes
he
to being
deserved
a-
this one.
He did.
I mean, in colors.
You know, I mean, yeah.
Well, between the two of them, it could have been the OK Corral that had 6 guns, you know.
All right, you guys all ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the August 27th Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Approval of the July 23 minutes.
Mr. President, I've read the minutes. If there are no further questions or comments, I move to approve.
So moved, seconded?
Second.
Seconded by Dan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item of business, unfinished business. Nothing? No. All right, sir. New business, 2018-08-01, Development Standards, 405 East Baker Street. Brandon Schmidt.
Yeah, this is for 504 East Baker.
All right.
The petitioner is requesting a variance from development standards to permit more than 2 accessory structures within the R1 zoning district. The petitioner owns approximately 39 acres of land, which allow for a large buffer between nearby residents. Trucks, trailers, and business equipment will be stored inside of this proposed accessory structure. Adding an additional accessory structure will not have a negative impact on adjacent property values because of the size of the property. This property is designated as medium-density residential per the comprehensive plan. If this variance is approved as requested, the petitioner will adhere to the rules regarding accessory structures per section 12.0.4.1 of the city ordinance. So, based on the information provided, it is the opinion of the planning department that this case could be viewed favorably when measured by the criteria within the findings of fact. I have a picture. What did I do? I already lost that. I have a picture of the proposed structure. The petitioner brought it in today, so you guys can view what the structure will look like. Their property already has an existing accessory structure, so they just need to apply for a variance. As you can see from the aerial photo, it is a relatively large plot of land, and
Wide
the
open.
structure would most likely not be visible from adjacent properties.
It's 40 acres.
Is that, Justin, is that the red building on the map?
Yeah, it would be where the red building is. or
Okay.
Red marking.
Yeah,
is.
mark, got it.
Yeah, I assume we did a mail.
Yeah, we did all the standard. Yeah, we.
No negatives?
No, no one came in or spoke against this.
Any questions before we open it to the public?
None for me.
Anyone who'd like to speak in favor of the petition? It's not a requirement, by the way. You set? You can take questions as needed. We'll go with that, sir. Thank you. Anyone here that would speak unfavorably toward this petition? We'll close it to the public. Comments, questions, thoughts? Got a hell of a lot of land there. I don't know what, doesn't look like it's going to bother anybody.
I don't think it will.
No, I don't think it was either.
Well, based on the city's recommendation and what we've heard so far, I would move to approve.
So moved, seconded.
I'll second that.
Tammy, all those in favor?
Aye.
That motion is passed. That's variance. Thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda, 2018-08-02, special exception, 4015 Corridor Drive.
So in this case, the petitioner is requesting a special exception to allow an outdoor storage area to be located within an I-2 zoning district. The property is located at 4015 Corridor Drive. This variance, if approved, or if this variance is approved, the petitioner will use a portion of the property to store boating equipment, boats, and RVs. Up to 50 items may be stored on the property at any time, at any one time, according to the petitioner. Outdoor warehousing uses are permitted in the I-2 zoning districts through special exception for the municipal code, provided that they meet the requirements of subsection NN and section 12.2. So that section basically breaks down what requirements they have to meet to get a special exception. That would be no greater than 70% lot coverage. If the outdoor area needs to be screened with an opaque fence, no less than 8 feet tall. They can't store flammable, explosive, or radioactive material out there.
So this is going to be used for outdoor storage, similar to like marinas that in the winter put all their boats and stuff.
That's my understanding of it, and the petitioner may be able to speak to that. But we have to follow those to get the special exception. And then, so based on that information, we recommend that you approve this variance request.
And before we open it up, I'll ask a couple of questions. An 8-foot fence, I'm somewhat familiar with that road. Isn't that about the line of sight if you're driving down the street? Either on 30 and or on 40?
There, if you look at it, I should have included an image from the road. There's a swale that goes down into the ditch, so depending on where you put that fence, it may.
So there's an existing fence.
Yeah, there's an existing fence. It's not opaque though. It's probably a 6-foot fence.
Any other questions?
Well, what's required then? A 6-foot or 8-foot or what?
It would be an 8-foot fence, no less than 8 feet. And then there's unless you guys decide to waive that requirement, but if you look on the aerial image, you can see a box of where they're planning on putting the storage.
Tom, did you have a concern or you were just educating yourself?
I'm looking at it just, the outdoor storage is, that's always one of my personal things that, the blue tarps all over the place. Just, I'm going to let everybody know that I think that from 30, that's a pretty visible area. That the street itself, you guys have been down either 30 or Corridor Drive. There's already storage that's indoor that's there. And then you've got the golf cart sales, which is going to be similar to this, but I sometimes have this worry that outdoor storage can become a little less than eye appealing even in an industrial park. So that's why I was just asking these questions.
And then you're happy that an 8-foot fence will take
Well,
care
I
of
think
that?
an 8-foot, you think an 8-foot would block it from both streets then?
I mean, the roadways are relatively high compared to where the swell is and where the land is, but the planning department's recommendation is based on the usage of that area. So since it is a special exception, not just a plain variance, it is more permissible since it's a special exception. They just have to generally meet those criteria to get that usage. So.
Well, it's certainly within the neighborhood guidelines, I can say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My understanding is that the storage would be under the buildings, correct? Or is it going?
Well, that's why I asked that, because that isn't said, and I think what we can do now is probably
Both?
go.
Both.
Yeah, we could probably go to the petitioner and ask him those questions. With that, is there anyone like to speak in favor of this petition? Go ahead and step to the podium and give us your name, please, so the press can.
Okay. I am Michael Trier. I represent Genesis Properties. We own the property. So I can answer any of the questions. I know you mentioned the outdoor storage. As Justin mentioned, we're limited on what we're able to put in there, which is really what we don't want to put junk in. We're trying to turn the back 2 buildings currently. That's our phase 1 plan. Just got our state approval for that. Turn those into storage condos where it's interior. You can purchase a garage condo unit. We want to be able to offer the outside storage because we've had a few customers already ask, even though we haven't officially opened anything. We don't want to just advertise and fill up the lot with trash, but we'd also like to be able to offer that to our customers. Another thing that we'd like to present to you is that we will be managing all of that. It's not going to be here's the gate code, come and drop what you want. We'll have somebody that will winterize a boat through a marina, and that will park it in there, and make sure we manage and maintain all
And
that.
will you do that on site? Because there's the old Carter building, the main building would probably house that. Is that what your plans are? for
Well, the
there?
main building is our phase 2, which would be an interior climate-controlled storage unit.
Okay,
Similar to what you have, as you drive down the road and see the small 5x8s and 10x30s. We like to have that inside climate-controlled, have a storefront there. That's kind of our phase 2 in the front building.
all right. Any other questions?
Well, you were saying you don't want trash, but then I hear, is it limited to boats? Is that what this lot is really all about, just boats?
We'd like to offer to boats and RVs. We've had more RV
Okay.
interest.
So those two are what we're
Yes,
talking about?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many can you get on there? Just out of curiosity, I
A
mean.
lot more than what we're allowed to.
We're gonna have room.
If we were strategic, yeah, we could get a lot on there.
Yeah, the limit is
but-
70, which is not gonna fill that.
Right, absolutely. And again, we're not looking to pack it full. Those condo units and then the phase 2 of the storage up front, that's plenty of revenue for what we're doing. This is just something we want to be able to offer the customers because they've expressed interest already.
Cool.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak against this, sir?
Hello, my name is Ken May. I do have a property that is just to the north
Directly
of this
across the
property.
street.
Yes, as you know, Tom, thank you. The only concern I have with this is where the storage is at in regards to the boats and RVs, because the elevation of the two north buildings is such that if the fencing does go to an opaque 8-foot tall fencing, the view from the corridor side will not block the view of any boats or RV that are up on the stone surface up there. So there is an elevation change of probably 12 feet. And if they do an opaque fencing up by where all the stone landing is, then that would more than be sufficient to cover most of the boat and RV storage. There is a very large grass area, and as Tom can attest to, that has just flooded again for the 4th time this year. The driveway floods out there, and the fencing, all that floods where their gate entry is, that floods. And so I would like to see where they can't do any parking out in the grassy area, which I don't think they would probably plan on doing anyway. If they had stoned it, that would make it a little bit more desirable, but it's still all very soft land. As far as the opaque fencing, I would like to see where they do instead of doing an 8-foot tall, metal, barn side fencing, if they could do the chain link fencing that it currently has, I believe, is only 6 foot, but if they could do the chain link fencing with the lattice material, I believe it is, they put in there.
Strips that go through there.
Yeah, that almost always looks
Kind of
good.
like, what's this, Mike? The land.
Oh,
Mike Lewis.
Lewis.
Mike Lewis, yeah.
there
Mike
you
Lewis,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, because it tends to start making it more like a salvage yard when you have the tall metal sheets. Reichert and Knapp, that's what they have on there, is they've done a very nice job with it, and it does look good, but my big concern is just to, keep it nice and clean. And I did get a call from Jeremy today, so I've known him for quite a long time, and he clued me in as to what was going on, so it made me feel a lot more comfortable with what was going on out there.
For the record, I'm a renter down the street. I'm at the end of Corridor Drive, so that's why I know that area so well. And I agree with you. I think that, I don't know if 8 foot will cut it, personally. If you might as well not block it if you're going to only go 6 feet. Is that?
And I agree with that. The view from US 30 there, I don't think there's anything they could do to block any of that, because
No, it's too hot.
everything just
Yeah.
looks right in on
It
it.
would interfere with airplane traffic by the time.
Yeah, so as far as any kind
It
of.
is a low area. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's a low area. All right.
Yeah, and that's my only concern. One of the big things I was thinking about is I didn't know what kind of storage it was going to be. I was just told it was going to be storage, and I didn't want it to look like the Polk tractor storage that they have out back. That's gets to be a little not too pretty. Yes, sir.
Can you summarize the action items you were looking for, 1, 2, and 3? There was a lot of conversation, but I was having trouble. Something about gravel and a green spot, but after that, I was getting a little lost.
At the entrance gate that they have there.
Number 1, okay?
Yep, at the entrance gate, that is all low area there. And so that
Subject
low
to
area
floods.
tends to flood pretty easily. And so we've seen that happen for the 4th time this year. And that's where everyone would be having to come in and out of the place. And since they will potentially have a lot of traffic, it'd be my suggestion that that gets, elevated up, which I know it does incur more cost, but that's something that, they'd be looking at as far as that elevation there that you're looking at when you drive down corridor. That elevation is such that the fence is much lower than where the storage would be. So instead of making the fence at Corridor Drive opaque, if they could actually do a second fence inside the perimeter, that would be much higher on its actual.
I'd agree with that, but I have a tendency to go with business, and that's going to be imperative probably to the situation. But I agree with that. The interesting part to me came about, I was in Carter Lumber when it was in business.
Same here.
And, it survived. And all the storage was open, but it was the wood was neatly kept, and it was fine. And I'm endeavoring to lean towards the side that they will do the same with what they're doing. I agree with you. I think that the fence is on 30, is it gonna work it? If we get 12 on this side, we could probably get away with it. What was your third request? If you
The
have one,
only
I
other-
remember 2.
And one of the other issues I have is if they are storing boats and vehicles out there, is any runoff of any potential fluids.
Potential hazardous material
Yeah,
pollutants. Okay.
that would be the only other thing I have on
I think you stated earlier you're going to have winterized off-site, and so that shouldn't be an issue. RVs, I think, might be on the side of that. Boats, I think you can winterize pretty easily and make sure that that doesn't happen. All right.
As I understand it now with what they are doing, I don't look to see a bunch of rusty tractors sitting out there, so I feel a lot more confident in it. And I don't have a problem with any of that as long as it's just kept nice, neat, and orderly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We'll close it to the public. Well, I think they satisfied the questions, and anybody, any other concerns?
I guess, Mike, I get confused on what we can even require of somebody at this level, other than just,
Is the 12-foot fence part of it, Jeremy?
An 8-foot minimum height is required for the special exception.
yeah.
So they can exceed that, but they can't go any less than 8 feet.
How tall is the fence out there now, 6?
As he mentioned, it's a 6-foot chain link with, makes 7-foot barbed wire. I know that doesn't count. What we've got there.
Are you gonna keep it gated?
Yeah.
It's gated now, so you'll
It'll
keep
have
it gated.
electronic gate.
Since it's gonna be condos, you're gonna patrol the access in and out.
Yep, it'll be limited to garage door openers for condo owners, and then we'll have somebody there daily operating the facility.
So what are your thoughts regarding the chain link with the slats in?
That's my intention. I mean, that was what I had planned to do.
And you did say 8 foot to begin with, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you be opposed to a 10 or 12-foot fence?
I'm not opposed to a higher fence. It's a matter of cost for us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you require it, we'll make it happen. If it's,
You'd have to run it on at least 3 sides.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's,
Well, and 30 doesn't even do the job.
no.
No.
Yeah, you do it on, you'd have to do it on the 3 sides, and 30, as we said, you'd be interfering with flights by the time you got it up
Well,
there.
would a higher fence on corridor make it?
Well,
better?
I don't think, I'm not sure if 8 will cut it. Did anybody actually do a visual on that?
I was gonna say, some of those motorhomes get awful tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you see
I
the
don't know what
tops,
else we
isn't
can do
that-
to
Isn't
restrict
that
it.
big a deal?
That's kind of what I,
I mean, a 10-foot fence isn't exactly the most beautiful thing in the world either.
That's true, the slats go bad.
Yeah, it's just, it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
yeah,
I think we go for
yeah.
it. Motion,
my thought is if the fencing is up by where the parking and storage is, because that elevation, an 8-foot fence would probably be sufficient.
It would probably work there, and given that you can only put 70 units up there, it'd probably be better security, but that's, again, that's a little out of our privy, I think, on that one. Am I correct, sir? We can't make them do 2 fences. We could actually ask them, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. My opinion.
That's, yeah, Mike is giving an answer.
Yeah, I think so, Mike.
I agree with you.
Okay, let's move on. Motion?
I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and approve 2018-0802.
Motion
Second.
Tammy, seconded Dan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, sir.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
You get the city to straighten out the street, that'd help.
Yeah.
Other matters that may come before the board? Justin?
We don't have anything else.
Nothing pending.
So
Motion
moved.
Seconded by Dan. All those in favor?
I-
We're in adjournment.
What just happened?
You're out of here, woman.
You gotta move quick to get on any of these.
Like, holy cow.
Everything out there.
This will agree.
Yeah.
Tom just
Seriously,
signed.
we all gotta take a look at that street.
I did mine.
Yeah, and we ran a little later than I thought.
Oh, yeah, 5 minutes.
I know, well, I have it, my granddaughter is at the house. Well, that's what I told her. She was gonna come, and
See ya.
then she decided
Chief,
not to. And I'm like,
you're
"I'll
an
be
honor to
15
casual
minutes."
dress wearers everywhere.
That's my intent with this heat.
Yeah, no kidding. Trying to get up to 91 today.
I'm passed out today.